The movie kicks off with this ex-boxer named Charlie, and we find out immediately that this guy is down bad, owing mad cash to a lot of people. One of these guys calls him demanding the bag, but Charlie is so stressed and owes so many people that he literally mixes up the caller's name before rage quitting and hanging up. We see him living out of his truck because his financial situation is rock bottom, and some kids spot his fighting robot ambush and want to take a pic, but Charlie blocks him and says picture is $5, which is total cringe. The kids roast him, saying, "Your robot is a piece of junk, it's not even worth $1, and they walk away. Next, Charlie heads to the fighting arena because Ambush is set to fight a literal bull, where he meets Ricky, the fight organizer and owner of the bull, who bets $20K that his bull will catch the dub. Charlie accepts the bet and matches the $20K, and Ambush enters the ring, starting the fight fast, with Charlie controlling the bot and landing hits on the bull. But then, classic Charlie, he gets distracted flirting with a girl in the crowd. Simp behavior, right? The bull takes advantage of the distraction, snaps Ambush's legs, and lands combo after combo. You think the bull's gonna win? I wanted to say I swear it won't happen, but Ambush actually gets turned into scrap metal, and it's all because of the girl Charlie was flirting with. Though, honestly, if I were him, I would have flirted too. So Charlie takes the L, the kids steal Ambush's legs as a souvenir, and Charlie grabs what's left of his bot and tries to dip, specifically before Ricky comes looking for the payout because Charlie has $0 to his name. Two guys sneak up behind him and Charlie punches one of them thinking they're Ricky's goons, but plot twist, they're court officials telling him his ex-wife Caroline passed away and he has to go to court to settle custody of his son Max. Charlie couldn't care less and just wants to go to court to sign away his rights, but at the hearing we see Max's aunt Deborah asking the judge for custody, saying her husband is rich and they can raise the kid properly. The judge says no because the dad is alive and hasn't shown up yet, asking why, and then Charlie finally arrives late, greets Deborah, and clocks the heavy gold they're wearing, realizing they are absolutely loaded. He decides to finesse this situation, meeting Deborah's husband Barnes privately and telling him, "I'm cool with you adopting my son, but in exchange, I want $75K. Barnes doesn't object but says there's a problem. He and his wife are jetting off to Italy in a few days and the paperwork takes time, so Max has to crash with Charlie for the summer until they get back. Charlie agrees but hikes the price up to $100,000, and even though it's a lot, Barnes says yes, offering half the cash now and the other half when they pick up the boy at the end of the summer. They sign the deal and Charlie is on cloud 9 because he's going to use this cash to buy a black market bot called Noisy Boy. Then he goes to meet his friend Bailey at her gym. Turns out Charlie owes Bailey money too, and she demands he pay up, but Charlie tries to gaslight her by reminding her that used to be in love just to make her forget the debt. A few minutes later, Barnes shows up, hands Charlie the cash, drops off Max, and leaves. Max immediately realizes his dad is toxic because he never checked on him for years, and on top of that, literally sold him for money. Max tells him, "Cut me half that check and I'll leave you alone," but Charlie says, "No can do, I already blew all the money on a new robot." Then the new robot, Noisy Boy, arrives, Charlie opens the crate, and everyone is hyped by how it looks, but it turns out Max is actually a robot geek and tells him, "I saw this bot fight in the World Championship 4 years ago, but Noisy Boy's the one who lost that match." Charlie starts moving the robot, which is decked out in Japanese armor, ordering it to move, but the bot is ghosting him and not responding, so Charlie thinks he got scammed and the bot is broken. But Max speaks to the bot in Japanese and it starts working, revealing the bot is voice-controlled in Japanese and they just needed to switch the settings to English. Charlie tests the bot, gets blown away by the performance, and decides to take it to a fight, but Max stands in his way holding the truck keys, demanding to tag along. Charlie refuses, saying, "I don't want you with me," so Max threatens to yeet the keys into the sewer, forcing Charlie to agree and take his son to this underground fight club full of bots. Charlie meets the organizer, Finley, and arrogantly says, "I want to fight the strongest bot here. I'm confident my bot will win because it fought in the World Championship finals." Finley agrees, warning him this is a fight to the death, and Charlie is cool with that, but Max is against it, telling his dad, we should start with small matches to make some cash and dip, not fight the boss-level bot immediately. Charlie snaps back, I didn't ask for your opinion, my bot is gonna make bank. And then the robots enter the ring, Midas versus Noisy Boy. At first, Noisy Boy lands a massive hit and is destroying his opponent, and Charlie thinks the win is in the bag, but Midas flips the script and takes control. Charlie tries to get back in the game, but he doesn't understand Noisy Boy's settings or combos, so he's just shouting random commands. As a result, Noisy Boy gets absolutely wrecked, his arm gets torn off, and Midas shows no mercy, pounding him until he knocks Noisy Boy's head clean off. Charlie is in total despair, telling his son, I need to gather new parts to replace the broken ones. But Max roasts him, saying, you shouldn't have taken that match. You don't think before you act. You didn't even know the control panel and your commands were messy and random. Charlie won't admit he was wrong, claiming Noisy Boy was obsolete anyway, then orders his son to get in the truck and not speak to him as they sneak into an old junkyard to scavenge parts. They move carefully to avoid the searchlights, and Charlie gives a backstory, explaining that human boxing went extinct because crowds wanted more violent entertainment, so robot boxing took over and made huge money while human fighters went broke. I was one of those broke fighters, so I switched careers to robot handling, but suddenly while talking, Max slips off a cliff and gets swept away by rainwater, sliding down fast. The only thing that saves Max is a metal arm sticking out of the mud that catches him, leaving him dangling until Charlie pulls him to safety. Max is curious about what saved him and realizes it's a full robot, asking his dad to help him take it, but Charlie refuses, assuming it's just junk with no value. Max insists, so Charlie gets annoyed and tells him, dig it out yourself then, and leaves him there. So Max literally grinds all night until morning, digging out the robot, furious at his dad for not helping. They return to the gym where Max falls asleep from exhaustion, and Bailey is shocked seeing the remains of Noisy Boy, telling Charlie she can't handle his constant failures anymore. She asks for a plan, but Charlie has nothing, simply mentioning Max brought a robot from the junkyard and asking her to check it out. Bailey agrees because she still loves him, but when she sees the bot, she says, this is a Generation 2 bot, it's useless. And Charlie says, I could use it for small matches, but Max interrupts, shouting, this robot belongs to me. When they power it up, they are surprised it actually works, and this bot has a special feature. It can mimic the movements of the human standing in front of it. Max loves it, cleans it up, and discovers its name as Adam. He asks Charlie and Bailey to let him enter matches, but they tell him impossible. This bot is a sparring bot. It's made to take hits, that's it. Charlie mocks him, saying, that bot won't last a second in a real fight, it'll get destroyed. But Max ignores him and goes running with Adam at night, bonding with him. The next day, Max asks Bailey about Charlie, and she reveals her dad used to be Charlie's trainer and owned the gym, and that Charlie was known for being tough, never giving up, and was basically fearless with a dead heart. She shows Max a newspaper clipping of Charlie fighting the #2 fighter in the world, tearing his opponent apart and dominating, which is when she fell in love with him. Charlie interrupts, telling Bailey, I'm gonna borrow money for a new bot, then I'll leave and never come back since that's what you want, and then travels with Max to an elite fighter arena. When they enter, Charlie orders his son to wait there, and Max sees reporters swarming the owners of the world's strongest robot, Zeus. The engineer claims Zeus can win any fight because he analyzes opponent moves and wins within 2 rounds. Max is awestruck while Charlie meets his old friend Finley asking for a loan to buy a new bot, but Finley rejects him, saying, you're a losing bet, you'll never pay me back, and leaves him. Charlie grabs his son to leave, but Max demands to enter Adam in a boxing match, so Charlie agrees to take him to the zoo for a fight, warning him, this'll be the end of your robot. The next day, Charlie wakes up to Max training Adam and is surprised by his determination. Then they head to the zoo and meet King, the owner of Metro, the strongest bot there. Max asks to fight Metro, and King bets $100 that Adam won't last one round, but Max is confident and trash talks King into raising the bet. King gets triggered, raises it to $1,000 and adds a condition. If I win, I keep your robot, and Max agrees without hesitation. They enter the ring with Max controlling Adam, but Adam takes heavy hits because Metro is physically bigger and stronger, but Adam's advantage is he was built to take hits. Max is a rookie and gets nervous, his lack of experience causing Adam to get pummeled, and with 30 seconds left, Charlie yells at Max to stall for time. Adam takes a hit that drops him, and everyone thinks it's over. You think he lost? I swear it's not happening. Adam gets up at the very last second, and Max wins the bet. But King demands a second round for that same $1,000, saying if your bot survives, you take $2,000, and Max agrees despite his dad objecting, telling him, "Don't worry, I'm gonna win." Max focuses, lands a massive hit that causes Metro to malfunction and collapse. Charlie can't believe it, and they take the cash from King. After that, Max takes great care of Adam and tells his dad, "I took some parts from Ambush and Noisy Boy and added them to Adam, so now we can give him instructions via headset, and I want you to teach Adam boxing from the beginning." Charlie refuses, saying he quit boxing a long time ago and lost his last match, but Max begs, "I'll do anything, just teach him," so Charlie agrees for his son's sake. Starting that night, Charlie teaches Adam boxing techniques and voice commands, actually feeling happy as he studies old boxers' moves to pass on to the bot. They enter several fights, Adam wins them all, they stack cash, Adam's skills improve every match, and Charlie even pays Bailey back with interest. Adam's fame blows up, and a rep from the World Robot Boxing League invites them to a pro match, making Charlie and Max overjoyed. While prepping, the rep says Lemkova wants to see you. She's one of the owners of Zeus, and she offers $200,000 to buy Adam as a sparring partner for Zeus. Charlie agrees instantly, but Max refuses strictly. She gives them until the match to decide, but Max insists on not selling and walks away. Charlie chases after him trying to convince him, but Max won't budge, insisting, "She's offering this because our bot is stronger than the others. He's worth more than $200K to me." Then comes the match, Adam versus Twin Cities, a two-headed robot, and here appears the stubborn kid, the scary hero, the boy whose skills will crush millions, Max! The match starts, trading blows, but Twin Cities is tough and corners Adam, who is just taking hits, until Charlie spots a glitch in Twin Cities' right shoulder and shouts commands. Adam takes control, lands several strong hits, and fights using Charlie's exact boxing style, landing a knockout punch and wins amidst huge celebrations. Max grabs the mic from the announcer and challenges Zeus to a fight for the Real Steel Championship right there in front of Lemkova and the crowd cheering Adam's name. Afterwards, Charlie takes the prize money, but Ricky shows up with his goons because Charlie ran from him earlier. Charlie says, "I have the money you want, I can give it to you," but Ricky says, "It's about more than just money." So Charlie realizes he's gonna get jumped anyway, punches a guy, and tries to run with Max. They get caught, Charlie gets beaten, and the money is stolen from Max. Charlie tried to resist but couldn't overcome their numbers, and Ricky's crew takes all the cash and leaves. Max goes to check on his dad, and Charlie apologizes for everything. Because of this, Charlie feels he's putting his son in danger and decides to hand Max over to Deborah. Max begs his dad not to leave him because he wants to finish what they started together, but Charlie insists, thinking it's the best solution and saying, "You deserve someone better than me." Max gets upset, goes to pack his things, and tells his dad, "I was hoping you would fight for us to stay together, that's all I wanted," and leaves feeling disappointed. On the way back, Charlie thinks about his son's words, not knowing what to do, and visits Bailey for advice. She tells him, "Your son loves you very much. It was obvious he's attached to you. You need to get back together." He's convinced, goes to Deborah's house, apologizes to Max for not caring about him his whole life, and says, "I'll try to make it up to you for all the days we weren't together. I'm ready to fight," which thrills Max. We go to the match day. The crowd cheers Adam, and Zeus makes a majestic entrance, jumping into the ring with power. The fight starts. Zeus lands a massive hit, dropping Adam immediately. Adam gets up and falls again. Charlie realizes Zeus is ridiculously OP. Adam keeps getting up but takes a beating, cornered by Zeus, who is clearly stronger, yet Adam survives because he was built to take hits. The first round ends with Adam totally spent. They patch him up, and in the fourth round, Zeus destroys Adam's voice command receiver with rapid punches. Charlie can't give commands, but Max says, "We have one solution, shadow mode," where Adam copies Charlie's moves. Charlie agrees for his son, starts shadowboxing on the sidelines, and Adam mimics him. Charlie smiles, taunting Zeus to hit him, playing a strategy to drain Zeus' energy. Zeus runs out of power from overexertion, and Charlie seizes the moment, raining down crushing blows using all his old boxing experience with lightning-fast combos. Zeus's creator is shocked. Max looks at his dad with pride and tears in his eyes, and Adam lands a punch that knocks Zeus down for the first time ever. Zeus gets up, Adam keeps hitting him, but the bell rings, ending the match. Charlie and Max are overjoyed, but the judges announce Zeus as the winner on points. Despite that, the crowd cheers for Charlie and Max as the real winners who won the fight, even if they lost the match. Charlie hugs his son, realizing that without Max's determination, none of this glory would have happened, and they celebrate with Adam. And here the movie ends. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more fire content. See you in the next video. Peace!